Hello everyone! I'm Erich Maika Pobeda and welcome to my vlog. For today's vlog, we will discuss the introduction to media and information literacy. So, what are you waiting for? Come on, let's start. First, here are the objectives of our topic for today. Number 1 is describe how communication is affected by media and information. Number 2 is identify the similarities and differences of media literacy, information literacy, and technology literacy. Number 3 is weigh the value of being a media and information literate individual. So, let us define media and information literacy. It's a combination of knowledge, attitude, skills, and practices required to access, analyze, evaluate, use, produce, and communicate information and knowledge in creative, legal, and ethical ways that respect human rights. And here are the important terms that we will discuss in this topic. First is the definition of media. Second is literacy. Third is media literacy. 4 is information. 5 is information literacy. And the last is technology literacy. So now let's define what is media. Media is the physical object used to communicate with or the mass communication physical object such as radio, televisions, computers, films, etc. It also refers to any physical objects used to communicate messages. Let's have literacy. When we say literacy, it is the ability to identify, understand, interpret, create, and communicate using printed, written materials and other means associated with varying contexts. Literacy involves a continuum of learning, wherein individuals are able to achieve their goals, develop their knowledge and potential, and participate fully in their community and wider society. So, this is the definition of literacy. So, this time, let's discuss the media literacy. Media literacy is a 21st century advent to education. It is the understanding to access, analyze, evaluate, create, reflect, and act using all forms of communication. It is an effective and engaging way to employ critical thinking skills to a wide range of issues. So, media literacy skills can help people to 1. Develop people critical thinking skills. They're able to understand or to interpret various forms of media. It develops our critical thinking skills or our deeper way to interpreting things. Number 2 is understand how media messages shape our culture and society. Being media literate is able us to have this wider understanding towards other culture and towards wider society. Number 3 is recognizing what media makers want us to believe or do. As a media literate individual, because our critical thinking skills develop, we can also recognize what these authors or media makers want us to believe or want us to execute, or it is how we recognize that these media makers want to tell us. Recognize bias, spin, misinformation, and lies. Being media literate also helps prevent being a victim of fake news. 5. Discover the parts of the story that are not being told. So, media literacy enables you to examine both sides of the story. So, as media literate individuals, you won't just believe on that particular news alone. So, what will you do is you will research on both sides of the news. 6 is evaluate media messages based on our experience, skills, and values. 7. Create and distribute our own media messages. And last is advocate for media justice. Now, let us proceed with the definition of information. So, information is a broad term that covers process data knowledge derived from a study, experience, instructions, signals, or symbols. Next, we have information literacy. It is a set of skills requiring people to recognize when information is needed and have the ability to locate, evaluate, and use effectively the need information. So, an information literate person is able to 1. Determine the extent of information needed. 2. Access the needed information effectively and efficiently. 3. Evaluate information and its sources critically. 4. Incorporate selected information into one's knowledge base. 5. Use information effectively to accomplish a specific purpose. 6 is understand the economic, legal, and social issues surrounding the use of information and access and use information ethically and legally. So, how communication is affected by media and information? So, we defined earlier media as a communication tools, and then information has a collective term that the differ covers data, knowledge, arrived from a study, experience, or instructions and signals or symbols, or it is simply knowledge of specific events or situation. Okay, so how communication affected by media and information? So, as simple as this. So, communication or the quality of information we get from a communication process depends on what kind of communication tools we are using. Let's say, for example, the mode of communication is through video messaging, so that is your media, okay, and then the information that you get are the instruction and the words that are being uttered by someone who is talking. But let's say, for example, there is an internet problem on your end, or suddenly there is a power interruption. So the information will be the amount of information will be affected simply because there are interferences. Okay, so that is communication is affected by media and information. Next we have is technology literacy. Technology literacy is the skills of the person working independently and with others to responsibility, appropriately, and effectively use technology tools to access, manage, integrate, create, and communicate information. Learners who have obtained technological literacy are able to: number 1 is problem solve, 2. Communicate, 3. Locate, use, and synthesize information found using technology, 4. Develop skills necessary to function in the 21st century. Let us have salient preparatory skills of a technology literate person. Number 1 is creative and innovation, 2. Communication and collaboration, 3. Research and information literacy, 4 is digital citizenships, and the last is technology operations and concepts. So, let's summarize our topic for today. Number 1 is media as communication tool. So, this is where we get the information that we need. Literacy is our skills or our ability to understand, interpret, analyze, and evaluate a particular concept. Media literacy is our skills in understanding, analyzing, assessing, creating various forms of media. Next is information. So, information is defined as term that is used to define knowledge that we get from a study instruction, so data collected from a particular study. 5. Information literacy is to locate information, to understand, and information to effectively use information. And then 6. Technology literacy. So it is our skills on how to work with various forms of technology. It is our ability to understand how this modern technology works, and it is our ability to use it effectively on a particular purpose. That's all for today's vlog. I hope you learned something about media and information literacy. Bye!